Hello and welcome, and we're starting right off with the aftermath of the Food Fight Festival. And yes, I know that was 3 episodes ago, but just roll with it. So even though they all won the Food Fight Festival, 6 of the 8 girlfriends aren't too keen on gaining weight from it, so they excuse themselves for much of the episode to do some real girlfriend cuteness training, which leaves us to a pretty rare sight for this series up to this point: Rentarou alone. And you'd think that wouldn't really happen in general since, you know, he's dating 8 girls, but he's gotta find some way to discover new girlfriends. Speaking of which, we get the new girlfriend zing early in this episode compared to the previous 2 zings we've had this season so far, as Rentarou meets Sutou, a member of the girls' baseball club. She's recruiting for said club because all of her teammates left to go study the sport in America. I'm pretty sure they're all just signed to the Dodgers for $700 million, so she's going to be by herself for a while. And that's a problem since she needs members to be in a club. Plus, there's a game coming up soon, and if she doesn't win it, then the club will be disbanded. Kinda hard to do if you're by yourself. So in order to help drum up interest in the club, the two practice together, which leads to— good heavens! Did she switch bodies with Hakuri? Oh, she's just giving a massage. Carry on. Now, I like this episode a lot because even though this series takes place in a school, the school itself usually isn't brought up that much. So we get to see more of how school life goes, and that includes Rentarou walking around with one of his girlfriends, which Iku notices too, leading her to make the decision that now is when she should confess even though he's already taken. And Rentarou rejects her. From his point of view, he's got a point. He's already got 8 girlfriends. There's no guarantee he can make a 9th as happy and loved as the rest of them. All of this at once just breaks a poor girl's heart, which was exactly the plan, and does even more damage to Rentarou. Dang, he's got a lot of blood in him. You see, Rentarou's picked up by now Iku's personality pretty well. She loves training and physical exercise to the point where she loves being in pain. It's a sign of growth. At least to her. And this means she's a total masochist. In a way, him rejecting her is a sign of kindness. This anime is so weird. But this is Rentarou. You think he'd deny a girl her happiness? Sure, there's no guarantee that he'll be able to deliver, but who cares? He's going to do everything he can and then some for her and all of his other girlfriends. And I really loved how the anime expanded on Rentarou's confession to her here from the manga. It just goes to show what a badass he is. And after affirming their feelings for one another, they shake hands and agree to become lovers. Going into the second part of the episode, we're at the point now where there's going to be a lot more background gags and subtle jokes due to the ever-increasing cast. I mean, think about it, we've got 10 main characters now, and we're only going to get more and more as the series continues. Karene's even quick to point out the pacing of the series because Mei just got added last episode. But yeah, that's how it is in the manga. But aside from the first 5 girlfriends, Mei and Iku being added back to back is the quickest we're gonna see girlfriends added like this. Plus, I love how Nano even mentions how quirky everyone is too, since she's not wrong. We just added a new girlfriend in the manga this month, so I've been wondering how well the anime would handle the size of the cast increasing like this. But so far, I think they're doing a great job. There's going to be a lot of moving parts though, but I think a good example of this is everyone's reaction to meeting Iku and then Hakuri asking what color are her panties. Oh my god, you shouldn't be allowed 300 feet within a school, let alone owning one. But we do need to set up that with 9 girlfriends, it's a perfect amount to lead into a baseball arc, since baseball requires 9 players. I mean, in actual baseball, you've got more than that. You've got relief pitchers, and you have the farm system, you've got coaching staff, catering companies. We can work out the kinks when we get more girlfriends. How about that? For now, the girls are all preparing to play ball, even though 3 of them technically aren't high schoolers, but they're still showing their support. In the manga, they come to this realization on their own, but I like how Karene and Hakuri tell them here. And I know these 2 are always feuding, but they can be united against Hakuri's mom. Now, Iku is still worried about the baseball club being disbanded, and Hakuri does have a good point. Even though she still loves the rest of the family, she can't really play favoritism. She is running a school after all. It's like if your parents are teachers and you take their class, they need to judge and test you fairly. Now, Iku may be a masochist and have a strong work ethic, but I think she's taking things too seriously, since she spent all night practicing to the point of exhaustion. The other girlfriends don't want her to work this hard, of course, is. Sure, they only just met and Iku is in the same grade, but isn't in the same class, so they don't see each other too often. But they'll still want to help her out. Iku's strategy so far has been to just pitch a no-hitter and score at least one run. But if she was able to do that, then maybe we get a John Boyce video. The point I'm making is that it's not the most feasible goal here. Though, Rentarou still wants to help out and see her in the infirmary too, since he took a bathroom break every 5 minutes so he can come there. Man, Rentarou's teachers are awesome letting him taking that many bathroom breaks. Back when I was in school, we had these yearly agendas, which you got on the first day of school, and you had like 12 bathroom passes for a quarter, which was like 2.5 months, and if you ran out, then you had to write under them until you ran out of room, and the teacher would always say, you're supposed to go to use the bathroom when you're at home, not school, but like, why have bathrooms then? You do realize I'm spending my entire childhood here. There are going to be days when you got to go no matter what, and they kept up with this all the way through my senior year of high school. Like at the point we're 17, we should know at this point how to use a bathroom. Like, why do we have a limited amount of passes? Why can't I just go? I'm coming to the classroom. I'm not going to McDonald's in that time. I'm gonna come into the classroom when I come back from the bathroom, I mean. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, Rentarou's a man. He wants to help out Iku, but doesn't want her to collapse, even if she is a total masochist. But fortunately, everyone else is ready to help out as much as they need to get the win and save the girls' baseball club. Something I like about this episode a lot is that during the practice scene, we get to see the interactions that are possible with the ever-increasing cast. Karne blasting Hahahaha away, Mei and Shizuka being adorable, and Kusuri being a One Piece fan. Maybe she can join Mei like I mentioned in the last episode review. And here they actually cut some material from the manga. This episode in general did a good amount, but once again, I'm not saying this is a negative. Making anime is difficult. I'm more than satisfied with what we've seen so far. But we've got Mei and Shizuka having another cute moment. The teacher from the first episode once again shows up, though I don't know why they keep cutting him out in the anime. And Kusuri has the most adorable wind-up ever. Just look at this creature. Wow. In the manga, it's also explained why Rentarou's coaching. The advisor to the girls' baseball club is an advisor in name only and doesn't really do anything. They're probably more of a basketball fan anyway. I just hope that they aren't a fan of the Mavericks. The one manga change that I'm not the biggest fan of is how they showed Hahahaha hiding under the bed. Because in the anime, it's extremely obvious, but in the manga, it's so subtle that I didn't notice it at all until she said the line about it a few pages later, and then I went back and checked, and she's right there. But that could have also been difficult to adapt to anime too, but overall, great episode. We got a new girlfriend right at the beginning this time, and it leads up to the next episode pretty well, so prepare for the baseball game next episode. In this episode, fully adapted chapters 33 and 34. Yeah, it looks like chapter 29 might be skipped, which is unfortunate since it technically introduces a new character, kind of. What I'll do is when the season ends, I'll go over any chapters real quick that may have been skipped, since they could still do some out of order. They did include the bonus panel for chapter 33, but they might do 34's next episode, and there's also a bonus chapter, which I hope they adapt next episode too, since they adapted the previous bonus chapter with Mei, but we'll have to see. And we have a new character, Iku Stoic, who is voiced by none other than Rie Takahashi, and I'm a huge fan of Rie Takahashi. Who has she voiced so far? Why, how about Amelia? Megumin? Ai Hoshido, Takagi-san, Sumi Sakurasawa, Tomo Aizawa, Shino Kiryu, Mash from Fate? Heck, from this season alone, she's voicing Sari Nakano from Honey Lemon Soda, and Alina Clover from the Guild Receptionist anime, which are both pretty good shows. Yeah, she's my favorite voice actress. How could you tell? What a glorious resume, and I know many people have brought up that she voices Megumin in Konosuba, who is not the masochist, but hanging with Ai Kayano probably gave her some pointers because I love her voice as Iku. And speaking of the Japanese voice cast, I want to shout out Wataru Kato once again, since on a radio broadcast, Amane Shindo is telling a story about how he gave her half a sandwich to get to know her, just like Rentarou does to Kurumi. What a legend. And going back to Iku herself, like I mentioned before, all of the girlfriends' names are puns, but most are better understood if you know and can read Japanese. Now, some are still pretty straightforward otherwise, and Iku is like this too, since in Japanese you introduce yourself last name first. So her name is literally Stoic. Stoiku. I bet her favorite emperor of Rome was Marcus Aurelius. Also, another thing to note is that she uses boku as the first person pronoun rather than watashi, which is what most of the girlfriends use, since she's a tomboy. We're 9 girlfriends in, so tomboy lovers, here you go. However, with her whole team moving to America, it makes me wonder that when they come back, will any of them become future girlfriends? I'm not sure if any of the others are tomboys, but I think it'd be kinda cool if we have 2 girlfriends who are teammates. Whether that's the case or not, Iku is our first athletic girlfriend. Wrapping up my thoughts in the episode, it's great to see that Mei is now finally in the OP. She was added to the ED last episode, but there is definitely room in the OP to add her, and now she's here. Before ending this video, I just want to say thank you all so much, because I just hit 5,000 subscribers. Yeah, it didn't happen before the end of the year like I had hoped, but that's perfectly fine. I hit it. And I'd still be making videos whether I had 5,000 or 5 subscribers. My next goal is to hit 10,000 this year, which is a bit of a stretch, but that's the point of goals. You work towards them. Also, I just uploaded a video where I went over what I thought the best anime episodes were for 2024, and this will be a recurring video that I make from here on out on this channel once a year. And yes, I'm already making notes on what I'll put for 2025, so maybe an episode for 100 girlfriends will show up. I've got a lot more great videos to come that I can't wait to work on, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on more 100 girlfriends and other anime content. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.